Today we're here to talk about a mythical beast. No, not Yowie.
Not Sasquatch, not Bigfoot. It's
But-
just here for a while and it's come back as...
Nissan Patrol! It's a big beast. It is a beast. It is a bit of a Yowie. It is a bit of a Sasquatch. It's huge. It's got huge feet, 18-inch tyres. This is coming up to almost my chest. I'm an average height. You're bigger than the average bear.
I'm bigger than the
You're
average
6
bear.
foot 3.
190 centimetres for the young people watching.
Now, we were talking before about the approach and departure angles.
The approach and departure angle is a little bit less than some of the others,
Yep.
but the
Ramp over? What about tell me about ramp over.
ramp over's not too bad. That's a bit where it goes over the bump in the middle.
That's this bit?
Yeah.
Yep.
But the ground clearance is 270 mils, and that is excellent.
270 is really good.
270 is excellent.
Of course, the opposition for this is Toyota's LandCruiser LC200.
Yes.
That has been around like this car for quite some time. I mean, they're both more than a decade old. As you said on the way out here, they were neck and neck at one stage, but now I think the last time I looked at figures, LandCruiser was outselling Patrol by 10 to 1.
Part of it is because this only comes in a petrol option.
So only comes in a 5.8 with 298 and 560. So 298 kilowatts, 560 newton meters.
Plenty of power.
Plenty of power, but by God, it's thirsty. So this has got an proper automatic transmission.
Yep.
When they did the update late last year,
Dramatically improved its looks. It looks a lot better now than it did before. It doesn't have that big bum at the back, and the front is now, it's actually quite good. I like it.
Yep. Now, you went to the New Zealand drive program a few months ago,
Yep.
where they took this on some dirt roads. Here's some footage. But how did you feel that it went?
The ride in this is beautiful. It just simply glides along over the dirt roads. As you said, we didn't do anything too difficult, but that dirt, that corrugated dirt, or that sort of uneven type roads, it was actually quite good. No snow.
No snow.
The steering is very disconnected.
And I felt that as well. I took this down to the National Park yesterday, didn't get any footage, but I took it down to the National Park yesterday, and I just had to know that it was going to go where I was pointing it. Because the steering is so light, there's just no feeling. But we'll talk about that when we get in the car.
Yep.
Around the back, this is a big chunk of metal. This is a big chunk of metal. You mentioned the bustle from the pre-facelift, so this is a new tailgate.
New tailgate, new sort of boot area at the back, and it's lost that. I think the Infinity had more of that sort of bum that stuck out, but it actually.
Oh, the
it's a lot
Infinity.
better.
Here's a photo of it. Gee, I tell you what, I think that's a bloody ugly
It
car.
was a Kardashian bum that didn't look good.
Oh, well, Kardashian bums don't look good on Kardashians.
No.
You notice I didn't say what I was going to say.
So we just lean out of the way.
Inside,
First point, high enough for me to stand underneath, which is the big point for me.
so when you put the back seat down, you've got to pull the tab and tumble it forward and then pull the seat up from inside the back door. There's no actual way to do it from the tailgate, which I think is a little bit silly. Also, you've got to make sure you keep the headrests down even when the seats aren't in use, whether they're up or down, or you can't see a thing. And you can see I've had to remove the headrest from the middle of the second row because it literally blocked out the entire rear window. In the back under here there's a jack. There are cup holders on both sides and not a whole lot of room between the third and second row seats.
Towing has a Nissan standard 50mm tongue, but the issue I have, 3.5 tonne towing capacity, 350 kilos on the ball, which is good.
What's the gross combined mass, sorry? 7,000?
7,000, so it's pretty good. With all Nissans, what goes on there needs to come out of the boot. So it does take out of the payload. The issue I have is if you look here, and a lot of people do this, they mount the actual electronic connector for the towing underneath. And the problem with that is if you're actually going to do anything
it's going to get dirty, isn't it?
Well, dirty and smashed on rocks.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I do not like on this or any other car is that bloody buggery foot-operated parking brake.
I know, it's annoying, isn't it?
Oh man, you're tall, you've got long legs,
Yeah.
so you've got to find a place to put all those legs of yours.
Yeah, and actually that's one thing, the seat room in the back is great. The seats are very comfortable in the back.
Well,
there.
here's some footage of you in the third row. I mean, honestly, that's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I'm not the target market for that. As a driver, I would like a little bit more seat slide.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough for me.
Yes.
You know, I'm 3 inches, so what's that, 10, 12 centimetres shorter than you.
Yep.
I had no trouble whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it looked really painful for you trying to fit into the second and third row, to be honest. There's not much room in the front for you either, Rob. So that's with the seat back as far as it'll go.
Yep.
What have you got there? I don't know, 3 centimetres, 4 centimetres?
Yeah, inch and a half.
If you were in a really serious smash, I worry that your legs would go into the dash.
Yes. Yep.
I think the interior looks quite nice. There's lots of wood grain. Whether or not that's real or not is a matter for debate.
Yeah, look, it looks good. It's a little bit old-fashioned in some ways, but it looks good and it all seems to work. And it's got plenty of bling, plenty of stuff that,
Well,
extra features.
An 8-inch screen sans Apple CarPlay, which, as you know, is that'd be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Not having Apple CarPlay. Once you've used it, we've got other videos that show you how to use it. You just can't live without it. So we've got a fairly decent size glove box.
Yep.
The centre stack, again, I think this looks a little bit old-fashioned, but look at this.
Yeah.
A CD slot.
So the thing I like in the middle here is the fridge.
There's a fridge in the centre console,
Yep.
and the best part is it opens up from both sides. Also for those the second row passengers, if you have little ones on a long trip, you can put a DVD in here, or I don't know if it operates from USBs as well. Might do.
Could do.
Entertainment system in the back. They've got wireless headphones, a remote control,
Yep.
so you can put a video on and the kids can just run right in the back seat.
Absolutely.
On the road, Rob, we discussed a little bit of that outside. This steering is unbelievably light. It is really light.
It's great in car parks, it's great in roundabouts, it's great in inner city streets. And you need it because this is such a behemoth, it's huge.
And I feel like I'm taking up all of this lane. And
But-
I'm used to driving big cars.
But if you are looking for something where you want response to direct input, it's very disconnected from the instruction to the wheels.
And there's a 360-degree camera to help you in tight spaces in parking, which
That's
I
excellent.
think is great. I asked you if that would be good off-road. I thought that would be really brilliant.
Excellent.
But
No, the camera
I don't
is-
know that I'd like to give it a go, to be honest.
No, the camera is excellent off-road. The only slight thing about the steering is that because it's not direct feel, sometimes you are struggling to feel as though where your tyres are.
The main reason I think that you're going to buy this car is for long distance travel. I don't think you're going to do a lot of city travel in a petrol V8 in a car weighing 2,700 kilos.
On dirt roads, on the sand, not many people that buy this, I don't think, in this particular model would take it too far off-road.
Well, $102,000.
It's capable. It's very capable.
But $102,000, it's a lot of money for someone like us.
Yeah.
The other thing is that this car has lane departure warning, but it doesn't have lane departure control as such. It doesn't have active steering. It's got subtle braking.
Yes.
What the hell's subtle braking?
Yeah, look, I actually don't mind that in some ways because I think some of those steering assists can be intrusive, a la BMW, which is very intrusive.
It is very intrusive. Reliability for this is a terribly complex car despite the fact that it's missing a few of the safety goodies.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem to have too many issues at all. But this, as we said before, is designed for America and for the Middle East. We take what we can get. But, in those sort of markets where they like these big, bold, powerful, SUVs.
And it is powerful. Nissan misses out on a lot of sales by not having a diesel option. There's a lot of luxury.
There's a lot of luxury, there's a lot to it, and for what you get, it's pretty good value.
Well, there are a few anomalies though. This is the TIL. There's two models, TI and TIL. The top model, this is the TIL, has seat heating and cooling.
Excellent.
But it's got 7 seats, not 8 seats. So the lower model has 8 seats. If you had 7 people on board, there's not the room for 7 people's luggage.
No.
I'll put my foot down now. There's lots of sound and it did kick back.
Yeah.
But to be honest, my acceleration, it didn't really snap my neck.
Well, you're moving just under 3 tons.
I was going to go out to Picton. There was a accident in the M5, so instead I went to the Royal National Park. On those very tight bends, this was a handful.
Yeah.
This was a real handful. And the suspension, although there's that active suspension control thing that we haven't been able to decipher,
It will wallow and bounce through.
it got quite bouncy.
I will mention that this does run on the Bridgestone Duelers, which are a really good cross between quieter highway running and good dirt road track type running. They're a good tyre.
But if you're not going to take this car off-road, what's the point? If you're not going to take this off on anything muddier than a track like, here's some more footage of New Zealand. What was that road like?
It was actually pretty good.
Did you find a puddle?
I
Did you
think
at
we
least
found-
get dirty?
I think we found a couple of puddles. The thing that worried me more about the trip in New Zealand is when you pulled up at the beaches, they had all these signs about what to do for a tsunami warning, and I'm like, what?
Not sure a Nissan Patrol is going to help you in a tsunami.
No, I don't think so.
New Zealand is an achingly beautiful country.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be lovely to do a tour in New Zealand in
Yeah.
one of these.
Yeah. It's a
So
bit like
what-
Lawrence of Arabia, just sitting back and just wafting over the sand dunes. And that's what it's for. And then take it home to your private Bowser and fill it up again.
You'd need a private Bowser.
Yeah.
There you have it. The 2020, same as the 2019, Nissan Patrol.
TIL.
TIL, because as I said, there are two models.
Yep.
$102,000. Rob, is it worthwhile?
Look, it's actually pretty good value.
So, you've got $102,000, LandCruiser or Patrol. What would you buy?
For me, because I go off-road,
No, you've only got a choice of those two.
yeah, I'd go LandCruiser.
LandCruiser. I'd probably go LandCruiser just because I think it is that little bit nicer to drive on the road, which is where I'm going to use it all the time, unless we go for a weekend away hunting or, well, I'm not going hunting, but
No, strike that.
or shooting.
No.
Fishing.
Fishing.
I can go for a weekend fishing, so long as I don't have to thread the guts onto the.
Yeah, you take all that off.
That's horrible.
That can be on, yes.
That can be horrible. Oh, me.
And that's the reason, folks, why we don't go camping, because he just doesn't like flies.
I don't like flies, or I don't like any bugs. Don't forget, if you've liked the film, hit like on YouTube.
Yep, put some comments below for us to answer as well.
There's a full written review in the comments below as well.
Yep.
And hit just there in front of Rob's face, just here,
Oh, okay, there.
just there, to subscribe.